Hey everyone, here I am. I am with the Amazfit Bip. This is going to be my review of it. And through the rest of this video, you're going to see a lot of different tests that I did for the heart rate sensor and the GPS and step tracking and sleep tracking. And I'll be getting all into that. But first, I just want to tell you a little bit about the Bip. And this is a watch that you may have heard about before. Maybe not. Maybe you're new to it. But the main features of this, the main selling point of this is the battery life. This is a watch that claims to get about 30 to 45 days between charges. And I think that's fairly accurate. I think you could probably squeak out 30 days depending upon how many activities you did, especially if you use the GPS a lot. That's probably going to cut that down to more like about maybe 2 weeks or so. But still 2 weeks is pretty darn good. And of course, an attractive feature of the Amazfit Bip is that it costs less than $100. You can pick this watch up from anywhere. I've seen it from like 60 some dollars up to about $99. So just depending upon where you buy it and if you catch it on sale or not. So this is a great price for an entry-level smartwatch. When I first learned about the Bip, I was really surprised to learn that it had GPS plus GLONASS. Most of your budget fitness trackers are only going to have GPS, and many of them only have connected GPS. So this does have a built-in GPS and plus GLONASS, which gives you more satellites. So hopefully well, in theory, it's going to increase the accuracy of it. And we'll be seeing about that. I'll be showing you my test results. And the Bip also has an optical heart rate sensor. And I really put it through the paces. I put it through several tests. And I'm going to be talking much more about that and let you know what I think about it. The Bip also has some features that I was kind of surprised to learn it had when I got the watch, when I started using it. It does have a compass, and the compass, I found it to be pretty darn accurate. And you can also access your GPS coordinates that can display for you, and barometric pressure and your elevation. And those all of that tested out pretty good as far as the accuracy goes. And one of the big reasons why the Bip has that great battery life is because of the type of display that it uses. It uses a trans-reflective screen. This is a display that is pretty common in all of your hiking watches, any watches that are meant for outdoor sports. My Phoenix has that, the Sunto has that, and you're going to just get a lot better battery life out of these. And they're also going to look really good outdoors. The brighter the sun, the better the screen looks. But the Bip, it also looks good indoors as well. It does have good backlighting, and even without the backlighting, depending upon which watch face you choose, I really don't have any trouble seeing it. So I would give the display on this a big thumbs up. It's got good color to it, and I really like it. And now I'm going to get into some of my test results. This was testing the heart rate sensor. This was against a chest heart rate monitor that I was wearing. And as you can see with this, overall it did pretty darn good. The average heart rate is really close to what the strap was telling me, and the max heart rate as well. So I was really pleased with the results of this. And here's the Bip against the Phoenix 5S. And again, this was on the treadmill, and I had really good results. In this particular test, it did really good. In most of my tests, it has. But I would say that there has been a couple times when the heart rate sensor has been off. It was really off one time. And I think that just probably has to do with just whether or not I had the watch on in the right spot. It kind of has a smaller heart rate sensor to it. So if you don't have it in the right spot on your wrist, you may not get the results you really want. But so far it's been working pretty well for me. But yeah, I have a couple times it didn't do as well as I would have liked. And on to the GPS. This is my first test, one of the first tests that I did. This was against the Sunto Spartan Trainer Wrist HR, and this is a watch that I've just discovered has a really good GPS in it. But in this case, you can see that the Bip looks like it kind of overestimated the distance by possibly about 0.2 of a mile, maybe a little less than that. But this was in a really challenging environment. I was in a forested area, walking up and down hills, so this was kind of a tough test on it. And here's a result of another test I did. This was against the Phoenix 5S and a handheld GPS device, the Garmin eTrex 20. I thought that would be probably the most accurate device I could use to see how well the Bip does, or any device, any watch I use does as far as GPS goes. And as you can see in this, the E-Trex and the Phoenix 5S were very close to each other, and the Bip overestimated by about 0.2 of a mile. And again, this was in that same really challenging environment that I put the Bip against the Sunto in. And one more test here. This is the E-Trex again against the Bip. And this was in a different location. This was along a bike trail. And as you can see here, the Bip did very good. It was very close to what the E-Trex estimated my distance to be. And I found this true in other tests as well. So sometimes it's very accurate. Now on to sleep tracking. This is against the Fitbit Blaze. I just think Fitbit does sleep tracking better than anybody else, so I wanted to use that. And I've just, my experience with the sleep tracking on the Amazfit Bip is that it's kind of basic. It's not bad, but if you do get up in the middle of the night and then go back to bed, it doesn't know that you've gone back to sleep if you fall back to sleep again. So yeah, it needs some upgrades, some tweaking done to its firmware, I think, for the sleep tracking. And as far as step tracking goes, I noticed that it misses a lot of my steps around the house, more my lighter steps, shorter walks, just back and forth to the kitchen or when I'm cooking dinner, things like that. It misses quite a few of those steps. And this was from this morning. This is the Fitbit Blaze against the Bip. And you can see that the Blaze estimated that I walked about 511 steps and the Bip only 184. And I found that true against the Phoenix as well. The Phoenix picked up a lot more steps than the Bip did. And here's the Bip against the Phoenix 5S. This was yesterday. Yesterday I was really active. I did a couple hikes. I was preparing for this review. And you can see in this that the Bip did pretty good. It's not too different from what the Phoenix was telling me. But again, it probably just missed a lot of those shorter walks that I was taking in my house. Anything about 20 steps or less, it's probably not going to pick up. And I think it does that just to increase accuracy. So, you know, if you're just random arm movements, it's not going to be counting those as steps. So I don't know if I like that strategy too much, but that's what a lot of fitness trackers do anymore. And now for the second half of this video, I'm going to show you the Bip in action. I'm going to be out walking on the bike trail, and you'll see how the Bip did. This was against that handheld GPS device and a chest heart rate strap. Distance on here says about 0.2 of a mile, 0.21, and 0.21. Wow, okay, I'm pretty surprised with that. Alright, here's a good place to stop. Got 0.45 on the E-Trex, the handheld GPS unit here, and 0.47. Oops, let me go back to the last screen. 0.48 on the Bip. Okay. Oops, let's go so you can see it. 605, 604, 544. That is a big tree. And there is a woodpecker. I believe that is a red-bellied. Even though they have a red head, they call them red-bellied. As I walk up this hill, you can see the elevation increase. Okay, I'm trying to get you. There we go. This is still saying 554 feet on the Bip. This is saying 618. Alright, I just got the notification that I hit 1 mile on the Bip. And the E-Trex is telling me 0.89. So about 1/10 of a mile off. Alright, and then I'm back in the car. Let me turn down the fan here. And let's see, it said I walked 1.29 miles. Average heart rate 101. Okay, well, the Bip said 1.29 miles and the e-trek says 1.27. That's interesting. So really close this time. That's pretty good. Well, I hope that was useful to you in determining whether or not the Bip is right for you. That was the results of the test that I did, and overall, I'm pretty happy with it. The heart rate sensor, most of the time, it's been accurate for me. A few times it's been off, but most of the time it's been pretty good. The GPS, in those more challenging environments, when you're in a really wooded area, going up and down those hills, yeah, it's going to struggle probably there. But if you're in the more open areas, it does a really nice job. Everything else on it seems to work pretty well. The step tracking, I would like to see that improved because I don't know. I like to get every step. I want to know every step that I walk. I think it's just more motivating. I'd rather it overestimate my steps by a little bit because I think that encourages me to walk more. Because if I look down and I say, well, I've only walked about 1,000 steps today, well, forget it. I won't even bother trying to get any more steps. So I don't know. Maybe it doesn't work that way for you. Maybe it's the opposite. But yeah, I would like to see that improved. And the sleep tracking is a little basic, but that's not something that I really concerns me a whole lot. I don't know. It's not something I focus on a whole lot. But the look of the watch, I really like it. I think it's an attractive watch. The screen is really nice, easy to read. It's a lightweight watch. It does have quick release straps on it, so you can change those out really easily. They're 20 millimeters wide. And you can find tons of watches, or bands, I should say, for it, and really customize the look of it. But yeah, overall, I would give it a thumbs up. I mean, I would give it a try anyway. This is a good entry-level smartwatch, and you might enjoy it. I think kids would really love it, especially. And a link to the full review of this, including the specs of it, is going to be in the description. It'll take you to the Journeyer website, and there's going to be more details there, probably things that I forgot to mention during this video. So make sure you check that out and give this a thumbs up if you like the video, and even if you didn't, still give it a thumbs up. And subscribe. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. That's my goal this week. My goal in life. My life will be complete if I get 100 subscribers. No, I'll be okay. But anyway, I appreciate all of you. I appreciate you watching, and I will catch you next time.